Welcome to ADlib&D, where a group of amateur role-playing enthusiasts run a weekly D&D 5e game with a twist. The viewing public can vote on a large group of random concepts before the episode takes place. Once tallied, the DM will select 5 of the 10 most popular and tailor that episode of the game against the chosen ideas. Anything can happen, no episode will be the same. You can find where to vote on the Filthy Pig Discord server. Now, a bit of good news is I've been able to recruit a couple of excellent people to help fill out the numbers here. So hopefully we won't have as many hiccups with hosting a game in the future. They hopefully will come in later on during this episode, but we'll see how the time goes. Now, to fill in what happened last time, the party of 3, Wabani, Riki, and Jace, have been finding themselves in a weird sort of snowy chalet. They were trying to travel south towards Pontevino to catch up with Jace's nemesis and stop him sending, I would say, bounty hunters and the such to end Jace's life. And while they were doing this, they found themselves in a blizzard and just conveniently found this chalet on the side of the road that they decided to retire in. Now, this chalet was a little bit odd. There was a dwarf by the name of Angus who was the only patron there. There was the innkeeper by the name of Puka, who offered very unappetizing food as well as some nice food. The party worked out how to progress further. There was a series of riddles and combat, some with the ethereal swords, others working out how to get past several pillars of ice. And finally, the end of the last episode where I had to finish it, the party had vanquished the rope devil that they were attacking, and I'll run with the description there and then leave it to everyone else to move on. So as the party finally vanquishes the last adversary in this nightmarish chamber, the shifting ropes stop their constant movement, and the groaning and moaning of tormented souls suddenly stops. With a blinding flash and a puff of smoke, a new form appears. It first looks like a human male, slim-built, approximately 5 foot 7 inches tall. He wears a clean-cut outfit with somewhat flamboyant colours, a double-breasted suit of dark purple with bright orange lining and stitching, black shoes and a black fedora with a finger-width orange ribbon run around just above the brim. His skin is a cool off-white, he is clean-shaven, and you can catch glimpses of bright red, shortly cropped hair underneath the hat. His most distinguishing feature, though, are his eyes. They are a bright yellow-orange, almost like a fire rages behind them, and to look at them draws you in like some kind of charm spell. Somehow they speak of undisclosed desires and grand rewards. If only you could speak them, knowing that if you did, it would make him and you especially happy. As he approaches the party, his slim hands are clapping at an exaggerated slow pace, and you feel a warm glow of pride for an instant that you managed to make him content. So he walks up and goes, "Well done, well done. Well, I was interested in you as a group. I expected you to get through these trials and tribulations, and I must say I was not disappointed. My expectations were heartily met. But I don't think I've introduced myself. My name is Puka, and I believe you are Riki, Jace, and Wabani. Would that be correct?"
Don't come the raw prawn with me, young lad. I have to say, you're the barkeep.
I play many roles, and one of them was, yes, the barkeep. Well spotted there, Riki.
I don't know that it took too much intelligence. I mean, you got the same name. It's not exactly subtle.
Well, that is true. But you probably don't understand the significance of it.
No, that's just you backtracking because you forgot to give yourself a different name.
Jace levels his rapier at Puka and says, "Why don't you enlighten us as to the significance? We don't care for being toyed with. Puka.
And as you guys are saying that, I'm starting to slowly make a few little gestures that Jason and Ricky know quite well.
Well, Barney, no fog clouds.
I think this is an appropriate situation.
Do you cast fog cloud?
I unless they stop me, I'm going to cast fog cloud.
I'm telling you not to. Does that count for anything?
Oh,
Please
wait a minute.
Please
Oh, wait.
don't. Please
Sorry.
don't.
We are fully healed.
Oh,
I
did
think
we
I
accidentally
think
have a
I
long
was-
rest, did we?
That's probably because I've had that hard drive crash and have gone back to an older version. But
Okay, because I had no spells, no key. I had nothing left here.
yeah, you guys were pretty much drained. And
bugger.
we're going to run it as being you were very drained.
Okay,
Oh,
so
no.
I've got nothing left.
It could be really fun to polymorph myself into the exact same appearance as Puka, but seeing as though I have no spells left, well, I won't do that.
I'm wiggling my fingers, and I'm just I go and I whisper the words, and then I get a disappointed look. Oh, fuck.
There's- There's no need, Jace, to be pointing that at me. I was. Let me just say that I'm a bit of a talent scout, and word has I picked up along the grapevine, if you'd like, indicated that you were an up-and-coming group, and I thought a few tests were in order to see whether you would be of a worthwhile of some things that I could offer you, and I must say that you certainly succeeded when I provided these tests.
I throw a good berry at his head.
He catches
We
it
don't-
catches it in his hand and eats it and nods towards you, Riki.
We don't work with those who traffic with demons and devils.
Is that so? Well, I was hoping that you could be persuaded as such. Look, this trial is not done without an opportunity to provide something in return, free of charge, I might add. I am willing to provide you free access to the town that I believe you're searching for, where a particular Fantier Brown is. Would that be correct?
I don't need your help.
And besides, you have to realize, and I point my finger at Angus, he brought us here. He led us through everything. He's at fault.
What? No, I was stuck here just like you.
Come now,
Yeah.
Angus.
Yeah, don't blame unclean Gus.
Well, I'm not blaming him. If there's a reward to be had, I think Angus there probably deserves it.
I throw a good berry at Angus.
It sort of bumps on his head. He's feeling
No,
quite
I just-
worse for wear.
I actually just give it to him. I throw it to him very gently.
Okay, he accepts it and chews down on a good berry. But Puka looks to the group and goes, "Well, let me just say that I'm a little bit disappointed that you don't want to even see what I'm willing to offer you."
Well, you haven't explained why.
Explained why. I have provided you with the information as to why. I'm a talent scout, and I have been looking for people of the finest caliber. And
No. Wabani is exceedingly wise. He's a wise spiritual man.
I know.
He's said why. And if you can't answer why, then we are not even interested. Release us now.
why? What kind of question do you want to be answered with?
No,
the
no,
why?
no.
I mean,
If-
why
if-
are you
if-
here,
if-
or why
if-
are you?
If I have to answer that question, then you don't know what I'm on about, and you're not worthy of our time. Good day, sir.
He starts to ignore Riki and looks towards Wabani. You don't You have some interesting thoughts. You're not willing to at least see what I have to offer you?
Nothing is free in this world.
See, I told you he was wise.
Well,
You would
that
be
is
wise
true.
to fear us, Puka.
Tomorrow, more than today.
Or
Can I get
better
a
still,
wisdom save, please?
wise to wise for him
Is that
to come.
Is that a charm effect?
Wise.
No, check.
Riki speaks up.
fear.
Yes, wise to forget that we exist.
Wisdom saving throw.
Yes, please.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to do anything.
Well,
So
had to try.
why is still an important question here, Puka. You've gone through some great lengths for talent scout is a bullshit answer. Talent scout for what?
You can make an insight check if you want to see whether he's lying or not.
Yeah, I
Or-
can do that. I'm good at that. That's a 16.
Okay, I'll roll against that. You don't sense him lying at all. He seems to be, while speaking plainly with what he said, he certainly might be holding a few things back. But everything that he said so far is the truth, as far as you're aware.
So Puka, you say talent scout, and we asking talent scout for what? What do you want? And why would you force us to eat raw meat? Because that's just really not cool.
Well, it's just part of the challenge to see exactly how you would progress through this little maze, if you will.
I won't will.
But you did, didn't you? You ended up here, did you not?
Shut up, Puka.
I'm normally
We kind of
of
wanted
a
to get
mood
out.
to
You're a bit
engage
of a
in
jerk,
a little bit
Puka.
of
Come on.
repartee.
So
But
I missed that, Chase. Can you repeat it?
I say I'm normally of a mood to engage in a bit of repartee, but I'm tired and cold and injured, and your food sucks, and all of this is your fault, and I'm of a mood to run you through and put you out of our misery.
Well, I mean, we don't need to go that far, Jace, but still, I mean, his hospitality was terrible, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to leave a really bad feedback on that message board
I want
outside of all the
reparation.
towns.
I expect reparation for this.
And I am going to provide reparations. As I said, I am providing you the location of your target, one Fantier Brown, where he is located at the moment. Is that not reparation enough?
No, but that was you were proposing that was a reward for helping you somehow.
That is the reward for managing to get this far. If you're after some other items, I have something you can look over. And he pulls out from underneath his jacket a metallic item of from what you can tell, it seems to be made of 3 metals, and it's sort of a headband that. The metal sort of intertwines with each other. I am willing to provide this item if you're interested in providing a service for myself.
I'm listening to him very, very carefully. I want to know, do like I recognize his accent? Can I place where he's from? Like, is he like from Lord and Lee or something?
From Lord and Lee. You can make an intelligence check, straight intelligence check.
Ah, scheisse. It's not going to be good. 0.
That's beautiful.
You, as soon as you start trying focusing on his accent, the glint of the metal headband seems to distract you, and then your head sort of tumbles down the rabbit hole of Cordwin Brown, and you kind of
It totally
get stuck
does.
in a loop.
I'm ready to attack. I'm like, guys, he works with Cordwin. He's the enemy.
I want to look at this headband.
You can have a look at it. I'm
I
happy
grab
to.
it from his hand.
He was proffering it to you. You can take it.
I take
I
it
will.
forcefully.
I will say that if you want this item, there is something that you'll need to provide in exchange. You can have a look at the item.
I try to take it from his hand.
What?
Yeah, he's giving it to you to have a look at.
So it would be
I give it to Riki.
a simple exchange.
Well, I can show you what I would require for this interesting item. You can examine it and see what it is, but I can also provide you with the information of what this item does.
How about both?
Okay, this item. You can examine it slowly. Make an Arcana check.
That's a 21.
Okay. While haven't seen this particular headband before, you've heard tales of something to this effect. So I'll just show you this item so you can read it out to everyone else.
Jace is getting
Ooh.
frustrated, and he starts singing a ballad, along the lines of Dr. Faustus, someone, a great hero who did a deal with the devil and met a messy end.
Yes, well, okay, so this thing is quite the wonder. It has bands of gold, brass, and silver. The bands are twisted and plaited in a uniform pattern. Something's a bit off with it. The piece is almost alive, and it would give you advantage on any saving throw that would provide the stunned condition. Once per long rest, you can use an action to perform the following. Choose a creature that you can see within range. As a bonus action, you force the target to make a wisdom saving throw or be stunned for the duration. At the end of each of its turns, the target can make another wisdom saving throw, and at success, the condition ends on the target.
Okay, so just to point out, it's actually a bonus action. So once per long rest is a bonus action. I forgot to edit that.
I don't get it. You want to send us to visit the enemy of Jace? Somehow you know who that is, and you're providing us a gift. This
is not a gift. This is an item in exchange for something else that I was hoping you would like to do. Just to terminate a particular person that I fear would has slighted me.
Burp.
By perhaps keeping you imprisoned in a snow-trapped chalet?
Oh,
By
I'm not
calling him evil.
imprisoned here.
Oh, I know. They set up the autocorrect so that instead of calling you Pooka, they kept calling you Poota. Is that right?
I do not know. Is that celestial?
I think it is. I've learnt many of these celestial words from my very wise friend Wabani.
Yeah, well, in some cases it might fit. But okay, look, how about instead of trading for a service, because we are solution architects after all, how about you take this really nice looking tinderbox instead?
That's
and I pull it from my backpack.
It's a very good tinderbox. It may have a mysterious past.
Indeed.
With a click of his fingers, the headband returns into his hand. And he goes, well, if you're not interested in the item, then I guess our deal here is done. But I suggest that you have a second thought about this. This is an item that is quite useful.
Let me get this straight.
Who would we be murdering?
Wait, what? Murder? When was that said? I didn't hear that. Say what?
I can show you the contract that you can examine, and then you can find out all those details.
And by looking at the contract, it wouldn't oblige us to anything?
You can look at the contract. There's no need to. By looking at the contract, you're not agreeing to the contract. You can examine it.
So, yes, I'm very curious. I might look at the contract.
Okay. So with another click of his fingers, a roll of parchment appears in his other hand, and he passes it over to Riki.
I look at Jace and slowly start edging my way around. Watching.
Who are you performing counter charm on?
So this is a bard ability. So I'm using my music to disrupt mind influencing effects. I can just so it's the song I'm singing. It's the counter charm. I linked it in group chat. During that time, you and any friendly creature within 30 feet have advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed. The creature must be able to hear you to gain the benefit. Performance ends early if you are incapacitated or silenced, or voluntarily end it.
Sure, but you don't. Are you suspecting someone is currently charmed?
I'm concerned he might be about to.
Okay. All right. So it's a it's a defensive measure.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I wanna follow through on this just to see how the DM and the demon would get out of killing all humans. Because it would require either some finagling or an entire world rewrite.
So there, it says whether it would only agree to that if it was within its power.
Oh, I don't like that. I pass the contract back. The contract talks about killing Carlos Villore in the city of Modano within 3 months.
Modano? Going back to Modano? Carlos? Like our Carlos? Carlitos?
Can you
Wait
make
a
a
minute.
history check, please, Jace?
Sure.
Natural one. Okay. You feel like that name is sort of tickling the back of your head, but you just can't quite place it at the moment.
I don't feel comfortable agreeing to murder somebody for the sake of shiny jewelry, particularly as I have to point out I actually think that Wabani's tinderbox is capable of rendering someone stunned for an entire round at a much more reasonable price.
I kind of give you a little bit of a wink, and from the side of my mouth, I'm like, Ricky, that's your tinderbox. I'm just carrying it for you.
Equally as useful as a weapon. Thank you.
He just smirks at the group and goes, well, you can keep that tinderbox if you're feeling cold at a different location, but I know that item that I've provided you is genuine and it will do as you desire, but if you're not interested in the contract, maybe you might be interested in it later.
I'm looking at Jace and I'm listening to Riki, and I'm like, all right, as the leader of the Dodgy Brothers, let me see that damn thing. Is it written in common?
It is, yes. I'll pass it on to you.
Oh, good God, Riki, this is too much to read. You read all of that quickly, Riki? Holy shit, this is like a book.
Yes, well, I really just went to the part where it would suggest that he could kill all humans, and I thought that was probably not a good outcome. Although it's a very long and detailed contract, I feel slightly guilty at casting it aside so quickly. However, I'm sure it would go on to the next person.
So let me get this straight. You will give us this headband and send us to the city where Jace's enemy lives, which is, where's that?
That is in the town of Carmiya.
Does that sound right, Jace? Is that where he really is?
Does that sound right?
It's certainly not the town that you knew where Fantia Brown was last. But you've lost contact with him. You don't know where he is, and it might explain why when you were trying to perform that ritual before of looking into that old house, you didn't get any sort of positive response back.
I can't say for sure, but I know he's not where I saw him last.
Right. Well, here's the thing. We, as Jace so eloquently put some time ago, we're in the business of life, not death. So, why? Who is this Carlos Villore?
Well, he's a dragonborn. He's a jeweler that has slighted me in the past. I think that's all you need to know.
Do you like tacky jewelry? Did he laugh at your designs?
He does not respond. But he looks at Wabani, who's currently holding the contract, and there is a steady gaze there.
It's a lot to read.
Okay.
It is a lot to read, isn't it?
Wabani, he's telling you, part of it is saying that he could grant you your deepest, darkest desire.
I seen those bits, and I mean, to be honest, my faith belongs to Donaru, and Donaru will give me my wings when I've earned them. I'm a scion after all. Anything less is not something I want. I will know it when the time comes. It will happen. Now, what you guys want? I mean, killing off all humans, Riki? I mean, geez. That's me.
Let's just
It's
say
kind
that
of dark, Riki.
it wasn't really my deepest, darkest desire. It was just something I said.
I mean, like,
You lied to a demon wall?
I would hazard that perhaps it's less perilous than telling the demon wall the absolute truth from your soul.
I think I remember asking you if that was actually what you wanted, and it wouldn't let you through unless you were saying something that was your deepest, darkest desire. But anyway.
Yes, to the DM, I'm saying, yes, I understand what you're saying. But right now, Riki is scrambling slightly, but trying to look very calm and smart and clever.
Oh, right. Okay.
look, here's the deal. Here's the deal.
But I mean, Riki...
Puka de puta. Look,
Puka de puta.
Yeah, puka de puta.
So,
Look,
hey, wait, his mother would be puta madre.
Indeed. Now, let us out of this place. Let us reclaim our horse, our gear, horses. We'll think about this. Now, how do we get back in touch with you? And I hand over the contract to Jace to read.
Well, funny you should say that. You're in luck. I have a colleague of mine who's happy to travel with you for a time, and he can get in contact with me when he needs to, and I can offer the contract then if you are interested.
A companion.
Yes. He also looks towards Jace and says, "You're not interested in at least reading what it has to say?"
I think I have heard enough stories to know what comes of that.
Sure. That's fair enough.
And this companion of yours is human?
This companion is a human, yes.
Not a dwarf?
Which would be unfortunate if, let's say, Riki's deepest, darkest desires were to come about.
Is Wabani human?
He
Yes,
is,
I'm
yes.
human. Shit. Jesus.
He's a scion.
Freaking elf. Like, what the hell?
Well, I'm just pointing out that apparently Riki wants you dead.
Why?
Jace-
I just said that. You got some potatoes in your ear?
Well, another joke at my ears, hey?
Well, exactly. I think it was
See?
well deserved.
See why I want to kill... No, just wait. Let's stop there.
You'd only need to kill half of Jace.
Oh, that's interesting a concept. Which half?
The human half, the elf half is fine.
But Jace is an all-human. Riki only wants to kill all humans.
Yeah, to be honest, Wabani is a scion. He's fairly. There'll be celestial things going on there. I'm fairly sure we could exempt Wabani from this reign
Cierto
of
que sí.
death.
Esto es cierto.
No entiendo.
My goodness, your celestial is so excellent.
Anyway, I should let you guys introduce yourselves.
Wait, is this companion a female? Because if she's a young female, I kind of give a look at Jace. She better not come with us, perhaps.
And with a wave of his hand, the smoke and smoke that occurred when he appeared appears again, and when it fades away, you see a human male who's wearing. Well, actually, I think it might be best if Chat Noir describes this character. So I'll leave it to you, Chat Noir.
Wonderful. You see him, and he's just very well aged. He's got just wrinkles all over. He's got long, like white hair, kind of like Lucius Malfoy, sort of. He's got a really big and heavy cloak that just flows to his feet, and a sort of breastplate that is just he wears a breastplate as well. You can't see his arms as he's got them sort of folded beneath his cloak, but that's pretty much it.
The Dodgy Brothers meet Malafar. Malafar meet the Dodgy Brothers.
This fellow looks like we might need to toilet train. Well, not toilet train him, but what do you call that? The opposite of toilet train when they're so old. Like wear diapers, human diaper. My goodness, he's
elimination old. Communication.
Yes. Dumping daisies.
That could be another name for it. Dumping daisies.
He's old. Well, I guess we don't need to worry about Jace hitting on him.
Well, Jace is pretty equal opportunity, really.
Really? He's giving you that idea?
No.
So,
no.
Malafar, how is it that you are with this puta?
Did you just say puka? Oh, I thought you said puta again.
No, I'm sure I said puka.
Malafar's just going to look at Puka and go, "Is this what I have to deal with? Really?"
Con gusto.
Yes, and you will be happy to help them on their quest. We've discussed this at length, Malafar.
We have.
Jay still hasn't put down still hasn't lowered his rapier, and he turns to Malafar and says, "Did you sign a contract?"
Ooh,
I have signed many in my time to gain what I have right now, but it is nothing compared to some. He looks over at Puka again.
Malafar, let me see your teeth. Can you lift up your lips? We need to see your teeth.
You're trying to age him to see if he's still good to eat and work hard.
We don't need to we don't have to take care of him. If he can't eat...
Oh, you're right. If we have to puree his food, it's going to be tough.
Well, I mean, you could Goodberry him up to... Anyway.
But then you'd have to puree them. It would just be hard work.
Well, there is another way we use up north.
Do tell.
One
I am
day
not as old as you would think I am.
Oh, Lord, you must have lived a rough life then. Go on. Go on, Wabani.
How many years do you have?
I merely have 68 on me.
Holy crap!
Left? You have 68 years left.
No. I wouldn't know how long I have left. I could be mere seconds with you people around.
Can you do a push-up?
Go on, do a push-up.
Do I really have to be with them?
But come on, Wabani.
Puka?
Wabani, you do one first. I mean, it's only fair.
I instantly drop down on and I do a fingertip push-up, like just You know, I put my hands like so they're not even shoulder width apart; they're just right there, and I just do like this intense, very slow push up on my fingertips.
And then little Bindi scrambles out of the backpack and goes up onto her fingertips and goes up onto Wabani's head and does push-ups also.
I rolled an 11. I don't know if I should have done dexterity or strength.
What, for doing push-ups as you described? I would probably think it's
very detailed and elaborate acrobatic push-up.
I'm assuming it would be acrobatics actually. So just add. I'm assuming your proficiency to that. So
be
what's that,
another
14?
plus 3, so yeah, 14.
Yeah. Okay. It's acceptable. It would certainly impress the layman.
See, just like that. Anyways,
I refuse.
Oh, this is going to be
If
fun.
you want me to continue dealing with you, I would suggest not asking of such. This is going to be very tenuous.
look, we are a close brotherhood, and just need to understand that where your loyalty lies. And I look at Puka.
There's one eyebrow raise from Puka.
My loyalties lie in the people I've made my contracts with. It's pretty simple, really.
I rolled a 22 because I'm insight checking. I'm looking between him and Malafar and Puka to see if I catch anything.
So what's to say you accompany us? We haven't accepted the contract. We end up back at Medanyo. We happen to be walking past a jewelry store. You decide to give this guy a knife to the head. What's to stop that?
Wait, what? Can you repeat that? I didn't understand that.
Oh, okay. What's to stop you carrying out the contract spontaneously? If we accidentally happen to have you along when we run into somebody who has a contract out of them.
So at the silence, Puka pipes up and goes, "There's nothing to stop you and dispensing with this jeweler, but if you haven't signed the contract, then you won't get access to the item."
Oh no, I was
Malafar,
thinking about perhaps Malafar would sign the contract himself.
Have you signed this contract, Malafar?
He doesn't need to sign this contract. As he has mentioned, he's signed many contracts, and
with you.
That's that is between him and the people he has signed the contracts with.
Jace turns to Riki and Wabani and says, "Why are we even considering this?"
I know, I know.
We're not going to consider the contract. That point is moot at this
Let's
moment.
get out of here. Leave these fools behind, or run them through for the trouble they've caused us. Why are we considering traveling with one of them?
Wait. A couple questions I need to ask this Malafar. If you don't mind, Puka, please stand over there. We would like to have a private discussion with this old fella.
With a flick of his wrist and a puff of smoke, he disappears from the room.
First, Malafar, do you know Cordwin Brown?
Pardon?
He doesn't know Cordwin. That's a good answer. Second, what do you know of the orc people who are half orc, half tiefling?
I know not of dirty creatures such as that.
Be careful what you say. My best friend was one of these people. And he died saving us.
He sacrificed himself for the party, thus proving more nobility than somebody who sits by and slanders us. But anyway.
I can forgive you because you don't know that. You know, I'm wise, as Riki said.
Very wise.
Yes, indeed. Now, you don't know Cordwin, and you don't know anything about half-orc and tieflings. What do you know, and I look at Jace, of the what is his name again? He's a Brown, like he's cousins to Cordwin.
Fantia Brown.
Yes.
So you would Puka has provided you information about this person. He's a human of middle to late years, and he's worked in this Carmiya town for a little while as he runs a business of arena fighting and such. Illegally.
Malafar does.
No. I'm telling Chat Noir what he would know of Fantia Brown.
Ah, okay.
So you guys don't know this, but I'm providing him the information. What he tells you is up to him.
Okay. You should have pulled him into the private channel.
So that I know.
Yeah, I could have.
So I know that he's been working in this town as an arena finder.
Well, how about we just? I'll move you into the private channel. We can continue.
Gotcha.
So just move into the whispers for the DM from the DM.
Boy, oh boy.
Okay, so yes, he is a person that pretty much runs the Carmiya town. He has set up an arena fighting, so it's illegal to set up this sort of fight to the death sort of arena, but he has set this up and he owns a lot of money. He came across this money relatively recently. You're not sure, and Puka's not aware of how that came about. But he is currently in the town. He spends most of his time either at the arena or at his residence.
Okie dokie. So he runs an illegal arena. He just spends most of his time there. He has a lot of money. And also lives, spends a lot of time as his residence. Yeah?
Correct. I mean, he seems like a good target for one of the things that you're wanting to do, but it might not necessarily be the case. So, I mean, he could be someone you could attempt to sway if you wanted to.
Gotcha, but they want to kill him though, right?
That's correct. That's what it seems to be, yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much.
Right. We'll switch back.
It's really hard besides the pictures.
Yeah, Riki is old as sin too.
Only on the inside.
Okay, so off you go, chat.
Now, before you begin, chat, we came to a consensus here. When you look at Wabani, what you see is he's human. He doesn't look old, but he is absolutely hairless. He doesn't have not even eyebrows or eyelashes, not a smattering of hair, and his eyes, his irises have a slight purplish tinge to them, and but very clear when you see him that he is an albino, and he stands 5'9" in height, and he's not overweight. He's muscular, and he wears robes all the time and goes barefoot most of the time.
He did keto at one point.
Yep.
Gotcha. I understand. Cool.
And Jace.
Jace is a half elf. He's flamboyantly dressed, long blonde hair. His clothes are sort of very fashionable, but also on the sort of bleeding edge of fashion. And
you're kind of forgetting the most important part, Jace.
Oh, what's that?
Your hair kind of sparkles even when there's no sun around.
That's right, yes.
Well, that's the chest hair.
Oh yes, that's the chest hair.
I think the brush.
He has a magically sparkling chest. We don't know why.
And a glorious
That's amazing.
brush.
It's the weirdest superpower ever. Okay.
Riki.
So Riki is a small, bookish, not entirely bookish forest gnome. She stands quite short. She's a youngish adult, old enough to be out into the world, but just barely. She frequently refers to books. She has appropriate leathers on for a spellcaster, but not too heavily armored. carries a backpack with her constantly, out of which frequently pops its head a small, slightly odd-looking armored squirrel. And she's accompanied by a small creature who she calls Cinders. And Cinders is a weasel. She tends to interact with them fairly frequently, and considers them equal members of the party.
And Cinders is make sure you caught that that when she said that she was saying the word she, not he.
Gotcha.
It's short for Cinderella.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I can tell.
Cinder's fairly cruisy. She won't poop in bedrolls if somebody misgenders her, so that's fine.
Bindi used to.
Yeah, but
Understood.
That's what we have prestigitation for. So.
Oh, and every once in a while, you might notice that I have some interesting markings that Donnaroo is gifted me with on my back.
Okie dokie, I will take note of that, I suppose.
Okay, sorry.
So-
Go for it. We wanted to make sure that you know what we looked like.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. So, question about the Doc Brown, Fantio Brown.
Fancy around, yeah.
Doc Brown. Wait, what? He's a doctor? Jace?
He's a man of many fake jobs.
He's not a shaman like me, is he?
Not that I know of.
He's not from the north, right?
So, what I know of this Fantio Brown is that he's staying in the town that Puka has directed you to go. He's basically running an illegal arena, fight to the death style stuff, and that is
Are you
the
friends
stuff I
with him?
know. Never met Dan. Don't care to.
So when you pass his place, if you see one of his people, would you where we come from, we have this expression to indicate it's a gesture we make when we're upset with someone else, and it kind of looks like this, and I kind of, it's, for foreign communications, and I show him the bird.
I'll take that. Yeah, no, I will. Yeah, okay.
This is, have you done things like this because this Mr. Brown, Doc Brown, is a bad guy?
I understand that he is currently doing illegal workings, which is what I've just told you. So he is of the unpleasant.
Now, are you pro-life or are you pro-death?
I am pro myself. Whatever gets me higher.
Oh,
And if you encountered a place where you might potentially do a bit of grifting, how do you sit with that? I look at him. I stare at him intensely, opening up my eyes wide, looking really, really close, probably invading his personal space a little bit too much.
Jace is looking incredulously at Wabani at this stage.
He sort of leans back in sort of a sneer of disgust and goes, I could do it.
Good answer.
I have
If
a
you want to
question.
travel with us, guys.
I have a
Turn.
question.
Yes.
Why do you actually want to travel with us? If we turned around right now and said we have no interest in this contract, would you still come with us?
If it was directed, then yes, I would. But if it isn't, and you do not accept the contract, then I suppose there is no need.
So you're the servant of this Puta.
No, Puka is not anything higher than myself.
Then why is he directing you?
He is not directing me. I never said that.
Then who is directing you to come with us?
I'm not going to say. Sorry.
Fair call. But I mean, you could just say, I am because I want to. I mean, that's...
But that would be lying. Lying is no good.
Oh, so you're driven to be honest. Interesting. What color underwear are you wearing?
He just stands there and looks, does not continue to look, or at least, acknowledge you.
Oh, this guy's going to be no fun during our hazing.
He might be too old. He might fall over dead from hazing.
But he'd probably be very,
but you know what?
He'd be very, very good at the toga parties.
I mean, there's plenty of situations where a grandfatherly figure would come in really good.
Yeah, but only likable ones, Barney. Only likable ones.
Well, I mean, I'm sure I think we might be able to use this fellow.
You could coach him.
Yeah, well, yes, of course. I mean, I am Donaru Scion after all.
You're very good at it. You're very wise. So,
thank you.
Malafar, could you perhaps, if we all accepted that underneath it all, you were very clever and better than everyone and all of that, could we perhaps coach you into being good at pretending to be a lovable, affable grandfather type? Just when the need took.
I suppose I could make do with being such.
I mean, we would all know that you were clever and superior. I would write it down in my book. I would just say the very clever and superior Malafar was particularly clever at tricking them that he was lovable and affable. Weren't they all a bunch of fools? Would that be helpful?
I can't stop laughing at the moment.
This man's clearly some sort of warlock, and in my experience, despite the fact that they all find themselves marvelously clever, they very rarely are.
How do you know that, Jace? Wait a minute.
But Jace, I kind of give Jace a pointed look. People that think they're clever are often the... That's all right. Give him a chance, Jace. We all started out somewhere and ended up somewhere different.
I turn around really quick and I look at Riki. Wait a minute. Was that a shot?
No, it wasn't a shot at you, Barney.
Right. Okay.
I quite like you a lot. I would exempt you from my kill all humans plan. I don't actually have.
Well, thank you. For a minute there, I thought my feelings were hurt. I wasn't sure. They're delicate sometimes.
They are.
All right.
They are, but that's okay. That's a mark of a sensitive soul.
So, to understand. So, Malafar, you need to head back to this city of what's the name of the city again?
Carmiya.
Carmiya. You need to go back there, so we're kind of going in the same direction.
I suppose. I don't really have a direct goal in the city itself. I am just here to assist you where needed. Maybe I can fulfill my own goals, but I might not, and if so, whatever.
So, like, I've got a wagon up top side.
Well, that could be good. He might not move as fast as the rest of us.
Well, I was going to ask if he's got a horse or, like, how did you end up here? Did you get trapped by Puka too? Did you eat that ridiculous raw meat?
Okay. Hey, you certainly didn't go through the same trials and tribulations that these people done. You move around where you're required. I'll leave it at that, unless you want to go into the secret channel again.
No, we'll be good for now. That's, yeah.
So I'm thinking, Jace, this is my thought. I'm happy if he rides in the wagon with me. That's fine. Wagon's big. And I mean, I don't want any magical trip to go to get us to Carmiya. I think I don't want to be obligated to Puka for anything for the moment. So, if we're all going in the same location, and another hand is probably not a bad thing.
I mean, we don't know anything about this guy. He's clearly consorting with fiends. He doesn't even seem to like us.
Well, I didn't like you at the beginning either. But you grew on me.
Jace, just think.
I provide you with alcohol.
Yes, but Jace, if there's someone else to pick on, they won't pick on you.
I don't particularly understand that, Ricky, but okay. Yeah, that too.
I don't understand that either, Ricky.
No, neither do I. I don't know why I said it.
That's why you're the smart one and I'm the wise one.
Hey, do you know the other really nice thing? Malafar has lovely long white hair. You could teach him to do it better.
Yeah, sure.
Well, Jason was saying, well, of course I could. I mean, I've got a whole host of tips, and then he stops himself and says, no, he's not coming with us.
You could win him over through the art of the makeover.
I need a moment here. I need to say a prayer to Donaru, and I shout, Puka, do not block my prayers. And I whisper to Donaru, Donaru, is it your will? Should we allow this fellow to travel with us?
Make a religion check.
Come on, here we go. Religion at -1 is 16.
So you try your hardest to sense your goddess, but you're not sure whether it's in this place where you are or whether you're feeling flustered, but you don't get any sense that Donaru is around.
To hell with this. Let's get out of here. I'm tired of this. I can't. My faith is being tested here. I need to leave.
That's the first sensible thing you've said, Wabani, since Puka arrived. Let's go. And Jace starts marching towards the door.
Always has got to give me a shot. Damn it, Jace.
What?
So there is no door. You're still in the rope room. There is no door to be had here.
Right.
Go on, charge out of the place.
Bounces off the walls.
Jace slashes at the rope walls in frustration.
Oh, that went badly last time. Please don't do that. I say perhaps is one of the conditions of us leaving taking this guy with us.
Look,
well, the guy just said that he wouldn't come with us if we didn't sign the contract. Isn't that right?
No. He doesn't give a shit about the contract. He's not tied to that contract. He's got other contracts.
Multiple.
The contract was for the Dodgy Brothers.
Multiple contracts.
As Jace was slashing the wall, Puka reappears in the same method he's done before and looks on at Jace and goes, "There's no need to destroy the furniture and walls here. I'm happy to let you go. I was just seeing whether you've come to a conclusion. It would be happy for Malafar to travel with you. There's no need to sign the contract for him to stay with you. It could be of quite good service."
Get us out of here right now, Puka.
Yes, I agree.
Well, okay.
Free us.
I will let you go. And as I mentioned, at no cost, no need to sign the contract, I will provide you with the means to get to Fantia Brown as quickly as you can. And he concentrates for a moment, and then a spark, like a bright white light, appears probably about 30 feet from him and 30 feet from you as a group, and then that light expands and it becomes oval shaped, and as it opens up you can see that it's some sort of small wooden shack or room, and there is a bit of natural light coming in. Like it looks like it's daylight shining into that room. And Puka says, "Now this will bring you to a small abandoned building near the village of Carmiya, and from there you should be able to have no difficulty hunting down the whereabouts of Fantia Brown, if you so desire."
Puka, I sure hope you can do that again, because I'm not going a damn place without Avenida.
Oh, your loyal steeds will be there when you travel through.
I look at Jason, Riki. Is it true? Can you do that?
He could do that, but I might do an insight check to see.
Roll.
Yes.
What are you trying to find out whether he's telling the truth?
I don't think I'm going to find out much. I just rolled a 7.
2-7. He
All right,
seems rather inscrutable. You can't sense any sort of falsehood from what he's saying.
I just love that you rolled a 1 and still got a better roll than us. That's great. Isn't that an automatic fail? No, wait.
Not for skill check.
Not for a skill check, no. Yes,
Sure would be funny.
You don't sense any falsehood with what he's saying, but he's being fairly closed with what he's speaking.
I think he wants something from us. I think this jeweler is bigger than he's going to say, so we can. I don't say any of this in front of him, though.
Now, look, it would be nice to go back and see Lucy and Modano. I mean, that's nice, but we have a purpose. Our purpose is to deal with Jace's issue, and then we're going to go and find Alarak's fiance. I mean, we agreed on that. And if Charlie Brown here wants to come with us, that's fine.
That's good. Can we call him Charlie Brown?
I would
No?
prefer not.
Oh, I had to ask.
Jace has been sort of racking his brains about stories about fiends and trying to think of the best way to get out of the situation. He says to Puka, "So this portal and your assistance, it's freely given with no debts incurred by us."
That is correct. You've already provided the service, which was traveling through my interesting set of encounters. There's no need to provide any other service.
Jace says, "Very well."
I'm scratching my head as Jace asks these questions.
Can I just say, as someone who's done a fair bit of reading far and wide, would I have any concept about Malafar and who he was? What I've heard of him before?
Oh, make a history check.
12?
No.
Damn it. Okay.
I know I wouldn't have. I'm not even going to bother.
Jace
There's 2 history rolls in a row with a 1.
doesn't even remember the guy's name. Malcolm, what?
So as you're trying to think of Malafar, your head gets stuck with what you were trying to remember before, and instead of thinking about whether you've heard of Malafar before, your mind goes back to that name that Puka mentioned. So the name was, just for me to confirm,
Carlos.
Yes, it was Carlos Villar, and it comes crashing into your head, Jace. You know that name. That was the person that you swindled when you were up at Medano, and the reason why you had to leave Medano so quickly.
Yes. Jace, a guilty look flashes across Jace's face momentarily, but he quickly steals his expression.
So Puka looks on to you guys and goes, "Well, I'm waiting. Unless you want to sign this contract, I think our conversation is ended."
Yeah, first, Puka, hold my hand for a moment. And I reach out to shake his hand.
And why would I want to do that?
I want to be sure that Avenida is over through that portal.
I have already given you my word that she will be. Do you not believe what I have to say?
I would believe it more if you gave me your hand.
I will refuse to hold your hand. If you do not take my word at what it is, then that is your own cross to bear.
So I turn around. Hey, Jace, help me with one of those freaking bodies of those lemures. Let's throw it through there just to be sure.
Are they still? Did the bodies remain after we killed them?
No, they sort of melted through the floor, I think, if I remember rightly.
Oh, right, they melted. That's right.
Malphite,
What about the rope demon? Is he still there?
The rope demon is just a pile of rope now, so you could possibly cut off some of the rope and throw it out if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Okay, so you do so, and the rope just goes through the portal, and you see it land on the other side. Did you want to say something, Chat Noir?
Malphite was just gonna walk towards it and just, I will make an example, I suppose, and walks through himself.
And Malphite just steps through, and you find yourself in the room you could see through the portal at the time. And it's probably about a 30 by 20 feet room. You can look out through the window, and it's sun shining. It's probably about midday out there.
Well, wherever it is, can't be worse than here. And Jace strides through after him.
I bolt through as well. I've had enough of this place. I don't even make a comment. I just run through.
Damn it.
And I have to say, Cinderella is right next to me. I actually pick Cinders up and bolt.
As Wabani is standing there, Puka looks towards him and goes, "You know, there are more interesting ways to gain knowledge and power, Wabani. Donaru is not what she may seem the whole time."
Don't push my buttons. You take that back right now.
I don't think I need to.
You know
have
what?
a good
You know what, Puka? You're an asshole. And I walk through the portal.
have a good trip. And then the portal closes behind you. As you step through, Wabani, you hear the nervous noise of a horse that you haven't heard in a little while.
Avenida? That sounded like Avenida. I run to find her.
So you open up the door, and it's just a one-room, dilapidated shack in a set of fields, look like farming fields, and you can see Avenida out there. There's also Pinkety and Wildmane. So all three of your horses are there, and your wagon. And Angus has also rushed through and looks around and goes, "Well, I thank you for getting me out of that horrible nightmare, but I might see if I can find a way to get back to my hometown, if that's okay."
I pay him no attention.
Godspeed, Unclean Gus. If we've missed you, we will miss you.
And same to you, Ricky. And he sort of waves and trudges down. You do see in the horizon there, Wabani, there seems to be a town that Angus is currently heading towards.
I do run and give Uncle Angus a bit of a hug before he goes.
Oh, that's so thoughtful of you, Ricky. It's been a long time. I don't know, months or something since I've seen anything but that horrible tavern, that chalet. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to find some peace out here.
There's
Gus.
something about you that reminds me of my own uncle. Might I ask you to make a mark in one of my books?
I'm sure. Where would you like me to write?
Oh, so I get out my personal diary and ask him to either write his name or put a thumb mark in it.
So he writes down his name. It's Angus Rockstone. It's a horrible dwarven name.
Thank you, Angus. I hope to meet you one day in the future, in better times.
As to you, my dear Riki, hopefully we'll see each other another time.
I'm standing in the back of my wagon, just with the top off of my the one red marked barrel, and I'm kind of looking after them, and I kind of shake my head, and I'm like, that guy's got weeks before he's going to turn into a zombie.
So what do you guys want to do?
I'm filling up my wineskin.
Okay. So what can we see around us?
So you have a look around, and it seems to be midday. This is you're on a bit of farmland up on a hill, and there's a little bit of farmland flowing down the hill towards a small town. Now, make a history check, Jace, and and hopefully you won't roll a 1 this time. Well, Barney, can I get you to make a nature check, please?
Okay.
Okay, so this certainly feels like
19.
this guy certainly feels like this area certainly feels like Pontevino, and I'm not sure whether you've visited Carmiya before, but it definitely looks like a town. If you have visited Carmiya, this would be a place that you have seen before, and you recognise it as being Carmiya.
Okay.
Now, with regards to your roll, Barney, of a 19 nature check, it certainly feels warmer than when you entered the snowy chalet. It's almost like it's summer, which is a bit odd because it was supposed to be starting to be winter as you progressed southwards from your previous location.
Oh, hell's bells. I'm going to get sunburned for sure. Damn, it's hot down here.
You've still got that robe though, right?
Yeah, I'll pull my hood up.
Okay, good.
And I'll throw my wineskin to Jace. There you go, Jace. It's been a bit. Looks like all my supplies are here.
Jace gives a wineskin a quick sniff and then takes a belt from it. Thanks, Barney.
It tastes like shit because it was the cheapest one I could get.
Does the job at the moment, I expect.
I look around. So, Malafar, looks like you're riding in the wagon with me.
Seems to be the case.
So you recognize this place, Jace? Is this where we need to go?
Looks about right to me, but we've only got that creature's word for it that this is where Vantier is, and even if he is here, but no way of knowing whether he's tipped Vantier off. I suggest we go in carefully and.
Well, can you like
secretly
probably put on a disguise or something? Because I mean, I wouldn't mind going in and cleaning up a bit.
I can do that. So Jace has his disguise kit. Can you spend a few minutes whipping up something?
Yep, you can make a disguise kit check. So
What
I think
stats is that based on?
it'll be intelligence.
I just have a quick question for Chat Noir. That comment that you wrote in the chat box, was that Malafar saying that out loud?
No. And yeah, no.
When it's green, it means it's out of character.
Interesting.
It was just the whole hand-holding thing. I was...
When I look at this village, like, how big does it look? Like, does it look like is it hamlet sized or, proper village size, like like 1,000 people type thing?
It's bigger than the other villages you've come across. So the
Okay.
other ones that you were traveling through are
Like
a little bit smaller. This one,
Pedason?
It's bigger than Terrason, yes. I would put it at close to traversing between a town. It's a medium-sized town. And Carmiya, if this is indeed where you are, is very close to the border of Pontevino. Beyond that is the Elven Jungles. Now, you do, as you peer over there, you do see what look to be jungles off at one point. So, if this is not Carmiya, it's certainly a town that's very close to it. But it seems to line up with what Jace remembers.
Do we recognize? I mean, does this weather feel reminiscent of the last time we were visiting some asshole elves?
It's certainly you're much more south than Modano, so you're feeling it's a temperate, well, not temperate, but subtropical location. Yeah. So yeah, there's a bit of humidity, some bugs flying around.
But it doesn't feel like what the weather I remember from visiting.
No, that was the heart of the jungle, so that would have been much worse.
Because it was terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, what time of day is it?
It's about midday.
What do you guys think? I mean, Jace. Well, that's not a bad disguise, Jace. Really, not your best work.
Do you want to help me improve it?
Yeah, I suck at that shit.
It's passable, but if someone looks closely, it might you might be able to see through the ruse.
You better not be flirting with any of the ladies. I think that might, they might see through that pretty quick then. If they know who you are. I mean, do they know who you are?
I don't know who here knows me.
Did you screw a lot of the local ladies here?
That's a very good question.
Jace, a look of sadness passes over his face, and he pauses for a moment, and then says, "When I was traveling in these parts, I was with Bella."
Huh? Oh.
Aww.
Really?
Let's talk about something else.
Right. Okay. Well, I was going to ask, about whether or not you. I know you don't give your bone to the ladies. It's kind of a terrible thing that you don't do that. But still,
give your bone to the ladies.
Well, and I pull a bone out of my backpack. We've talked about this. The bone.
That's right. Riki has picked out a different book and is writing out "Give Your Bone to the Ladies" in it as well.
Now, so that's fine. We'll drop that subject. Where do you think we should go here? I mean, I imagine we're at the cusp of getting you. What's that word?
Revenge?
Yes, that's the one. So, I mean, this guy, he sent someone up pretty bloody far up north, so it sounds like he's got resources, so that certainly more than we have. How dangerous is this going to be? How careful do we need to be?
I think this is a fair-sized village. I think that if we try not to bring attention to ourselves, and if I try not to look too much like me, I think we could avoid notice for a few days while we get the lay of the land.
Is there like the hooded flame out here too?
Sorry, do I know that word?
Yes, the Hooded Flame is the Thieves Guild back at Modano.
Oh, okay. Do I know if there's a Thieves Guild here?
No, not that you can recall. It could be, but you haven't run into anyone. Like, you might have... let's say you have travelled to Carmiya, but it was a brief visit with Bella at the time. This is before you ran into Fantia.
Okay. Yeah, I mean I think we'd best. I don't know of the hooded flame here, and I think we'd best stay clear of them anyway. I think there's every chance that they're on Vantier's payroll.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Well, what about you, Malafar? You know this place quite well. Are you willing to walk with us? And when I mean walk with us, I mean not interfere with what's going to happen to the evil dude?
I don't know this location very well, and I'm not known here for any reason. I am also impartial to most things you do, unless it is to do with my contracts, or if you request such.
Huh? I didn't get that at all. Did you get that, Riki? He talks weird.
He's just saying that no, he doesn't know this place, but he's not likely to be obstructive unless it suits his purpose.
Why didn't he just say that?
I think if he can't do better than that, then he'd best be off.
Yeah, I would think so. It's a kind of a fancy pants way of talking, though. So, well, Barney, maybe you should give him a bit of time to get used to talking to you in the way you're used to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good advice. Okay, so we should be fairly safe. That this guy's there. They don't know Malafar. They don't in Jace's passable disguise. Let's head to the inn and see if there's any. We can fleece some information.
Ooh, could be useful.
Okay, so Jace has changed out of his usual clothes. He's wearing a set of fairly drab travelling clothes from his pack.
Is there dirt on his face? Can we put dirt on his face?
Yeah, we should put dirt on your face, Jace.
He needs dirt on his face.
No,
a little bit in his hair.
No,
change the
we
color.
can use the squirrel. It can be squirrel dirt. Squirrel dirt is fancy.
Yeah.
No.
Not many
Yes.
people wear squirrel dirt. I hear it's the height of fashion in some of the further reaches of civilization.
I'm trying to look unobtrusive, not like some vile ruffian.
It could highlight your cheekbones.
I could hit you with a shovel so you had like a big bruise on your, like on your cheek.
How about you leave the disguise to me and put that shovel away?
I would suggest that major facial trauma would make him more notable.
Oh yeah, well I knew that. I was just testing.
Oh, good test. Did we pass?
Yeah. Yes, very swimmingly.
Thank you.
Well, all right. You guys get your damn horses, I guess, and let's roll out.
Does Malafar have a horse?
I do not.
Oh, that's
He's
a
sitting
shame.
in my wagon, Ricky. I mean, you can't see that?
You just said damn horses, and he's been consorting with people from hell, so he thought he might have one hell of a damn horse. I don't know.
Why would you say that he's consorting with demons from hell? How would you know that?
Who did
Is
you
that
think
what
that
you-
the red-haired, glowing-eyed guy was that we just talked with?
Well, that was Puka. I mean,
The bartender. Out of
Why-
uniform.
what? Yes.
Do you
why?
often
Why?
see bartenders looking like that out of uniform?
No, but I mean,
Do you think
why
that's
would?
how all bartenders look on their days
But
off?
why would
They just glow
Malafar be
red
consorting with?
and offer
Oh, I see what
contracts
you
to
mean.
people.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. Oh,
You don't
all
earn
right.
enough as a bartender these days. You have to make ends meet through other
Shut
means.
up, Ricky. I understand. All right. You don't have to rub it in.
I would suggest that Malafar is very tricky and probably has additional skills that we don't yet know about. I was
Is
just
that true, Malafar?
I
Are
was
you
just-
tricky?
kind of hoping that he might have a very cool tricksy horse, but he might yet have one that we don't know about.
Is that true, Malafar?
What is true?
That you've got a tricky, really cool horse?
He's not the tricky cool horse. He might have one.
That's what I said. You got potatoes in your ears too.
When it suits. When it suits, I do.
He doesn't
Look.
say anything. He's just gonna.
You have to sit at the end of the wagon at the back there, and if you'd like, you can have some of the wine from this barrel here. There's not much left. I gave quite a bit out at the last town we were at, so it's nearly dry. But you can have some. It's good stuff. But I'm driving. Nobody gets to handle Avenita's reins but me.
I am fine by that. Shall we head off, or will we be continuing to squabble over nothing?
Well,
We have to pass the time somehow, mate. Come on.
you
Pass the time while moving, maybe.
We are moving. Look, the wheels are turning. Squabble. We don't squabble. Who said what?
Let's just
I look
keep
at
going.
him again.
Come on, let's just keep going. Come on. Come on.
Is this like learned talk?
It could be, Wabani. You could be. Let's keep moving.
Is this
All right,
how you would normally talk if I wasn't around you?
Yes.
I think this might be a good time to transition to a break, and then we'll head to the town before this gets any worse.
Speaking of hazing for poor old Malafar.
Welcome to the Dodgy Brothers.
Welcome indeed, apparently.
It only gets better.
I like how you paused before you said better.
All right,
It's all
so
part of the RPG.
I'll just transition. Just hold on a second. All right, we'll see you guys soon.
Yep.
You are listening to ADlib&D. Now let's get back to the adventure. Okay, welcome back, everyone. We coming back, and the party will be heading towards Carmiya now. So as you progress down the path, you realise that it is quite a lot warmer than you were expecting it to be. Because when you headed into the snowy chalet, it was freezing. It was almost the dead of winter, even though it was supposed to be just the start of winter. But now it feels almost the middle of summer. This could be because you're quite a bit closer to the elven jungles, or it could be something else. You're not quite sure.
Has it been 6 months and we've leveled up twice?
Always with that. So with that, you progress down the path, and you see some farmers in the field working away, and the town of Carmiya comes towards you as you progress. And it is a fair-sized town. Probably about 1,000 or so people live here. It's close to a city, but not quite. Now, most of the buildings here are in the style of Pontivia. There's some stone houses, but most of it is wooden with thatched roofs. There's quite a bit of hubbub down the main road from what you can see. There's some you catch sight of some market stalls off to the in one of the central districts of town, and you would gather that's probably the closest place to find a place to rest up after the fights you have suffered within the Puka challenge room, I guess, for want of a better term. So as you reach there are no walls around this village or town. It's pretty open sprawl, which in some ways is a bit surprising because you are so close to the elven jungle. But the elves have been pretty unresponsive with attacking the realm of Pondavia for hundreds of years. So the lack of a wall is probably not a surprising thing. So what do you guys do as you reach the edge of town? Are you looking for a place to stay?
I think we should find an inn.
I think I would agree. I think we most desperately need to catch up on some rest.
Yeah,
find a base of operations.
I'm just following Jace because I have no idea where we're going.
So Jace leads the way to an inn he vaguely remembers from the last passage. Last time he passed through, he's stowed his loot in the back of the wagon, out of sight, and he's wrapped his cloak around his rapier to sort of make it less noticeable. And he's just generally trying to keep it low profile as he goes through town.
Just remember, what should I call you? I don't want to call you by your real name.
You can call me Steve.
Steve. Look, Steve. That's a fantastic name. Let's not stay at anything that you stayed at before. If there's another place that you're aware of, let's go there, because the last thing we want is you to be recognized by accident.
So
Can
good
you
suggestion, Lord Barney.
can you please tell me that you're Steve the pirate?
Yar.
I love Steve the pirate.
Is this do you guys know each other? Like, how? What? Where does that come from, Riki? Steve the pirate?
Oh, it's
You know a Steve the pirate?
it's another one of
But
these.
you're from Lord and Lee.
it's
How would
another
you
one
know
of these-
pirates?
I've spent a lot of time in libraries. It's from a very amusing book that I once read. Yes,
Oh,
it was called Dodgy Ball or something equally uncouth, but it was very funny.
Dodgy ball. I might have to. Well, I really don't like to read. Maybe there's a theater or something, and I could go see a play.
I would strongly suggest you go and see Steve the pirate, played by Alain Tudyk. He plays the part very well.
Really? Dodgy ball. I'll remember that.
Yar. Anyway, you ask around a little bit for a place that it's been a while since you've been here, so it's hard to remember. But when you were here with Bella, you weren't as well off as you are now. So you gather that you would have stayed at one of the cheaper places, and it might be better to stay at a slightly more accommodating place, just in case. So, at a recommendation of one of the guards, that you stop as he's doing his rounds, you find that there's a nice two-story brick building with a slate roof near the center of town, where the major marketplace is, called the Hoof and Rake, that would suit your needs.
Okay.
So as you head there, you come up to the main marketplace. It's similar to the markets you've seen in Medano and some of the larger places you've been to, but one of the stalls there seems to be a little bit different to normal. There's a tinkling sound that catches your attention, Jace, and you notice a little small dragon flying around, tiny dragon flying around this stall sign, and along the sign it says yogurts are us, which is odd because you haven't heard the term yogurt before, and it's certainly something that is intriguing to you.
So you say there's a yogurt is all well and good, but there's a dragon flying around the sign?
A very small dragon. Make a nature check.
Okay. Eight.
What?
You can also make a nature check if you want, or a history check there. You don't know what kind of form of dragon this is, but Riki, you can make one as well if you want.
Is it a what the fuck check?
It's
Woohoo!
you've read about these before, although you haven't seen one in the flesh.
The famous yogurt dragon.
It's a pseudo dragon, which that as a pseudo dragon, they're an unusual creature that they don't get much bigger than what you see there, and They're usually friendly, although they try and keep to themselves and hide as much as possible. They're not known for being scary, and a lot of the tales you've heard about real dragons normally they come down to being mistaken as real dragons. They're not real dragons, and certainly dragons in this world is a myth. So most of the time people would mistake a pseudo dragon for a real dragon, possibly if they've drunk so much. But this one seems to be quite the show off, trying to gather attention to people.
Is it free, or is it chained in some fashion?
Is it free deception?
Oh, it is completely free. It's just flying around my head.
Okay.
Oh,
How big is it?
Are you the yogurt vendor?
I am the yogurt vendor. About the size of a cat.
Thank
It's about the size of a
God.
cat, maybe a little bigger, like tiny bit bigger.
I was wanting to steal your yogurt dragon.
Oh boy.
When I see if I see this thing flying around, I'll be like, "Where's my hunga munga? Let's kill it! Kill it!"
No,
And
no,
I'll,
no, no,
I'll
don't-
shout. I'll use thaumaturgy
kill
and I'll.
it.
Go away!
No, don't make it go away. I want to see it nesting in its yogurt hoard. Just have this mental image of this big sloppy pile of yogurt and this tiny little dragon head peeking out, looking quite happy.
That's not a dragon. That looks nothing like a dragon. Don't you remember? We've seen the dragon before. They
Who
said
would
it
have-
didn't exist, and we've seen one, and we killed
We
it.
did.
That's not a dragon.
No, don't kill. So don't kill it. It's not a
It's
dragon.
like a
Don't kill it.
Big bug. I
I
didn't
re-
want to kill it. I said go away.
Is it a small animal? Can I talk to it?
It's smallish. It's not as small as you're used to, so you can attempt to talk to it if you want.
I rush right up to it and I go, "Oh my God, you are so cute and majestic and amazing. What's your name?"
So it won't be able to talk to you directly, but what does it do, Deception?
Oh, it just keeps flying around, looks down, maybe lands between my horns. Draws a little bit of attention to me. Keeps dinging the bell, though, because I
Ooh.
want customers.
It's attacking him. I quickly pull out a torch and light it.
I like the fact that you don't care that it landed between his horns.
I'll get it, and I'm waving my lit torch.
And then I'll
No.
click my fingers and it just disappears.
Ooh.
My torch just disappeared.
No, the dragon.
Oh,
Little pseudo-dragon's gone.
Although
you were
Jace waves his hand at
Mr.
Bunny's torch, and it disappears. It goes out, and Jace whispers to Bunny, "Stop drawing attention. We're trying to keep a low profile. Remember."
Well, Barney, were you genuinely going to try and kill a dragon by burning it?
First off, before I react to any of those questions, what does this guy look like?
Azrael.
Yeah.
So he's got dark purple skin, the same color as my dice, if you can see that. His horns are kind of up like an antelope's. As for his look, it's kind of he's got a vest on. It's grey, but no shirt underneath. It's like he's trying to be fancy, but doesn't really understand how that actually goes. He's got bright blue eyes, big knee-high boots, and pretty much his outfit's grey, and his shirt's just his coat's like blackish.
How tall are you?
6'2", mainly because of the horns, though.
Do you have a tail?
Yeah, of course I have a tail.
I'm about to swing as my torch goes out, and I'm like, and I stop short, and I'm just like, you kind of look a little bit like Alarak in some ways. Who the hell are you?
Aw.
I'll click and bring my little pseudo dragon between my horns again, and I'm like, I'm Azrael. Hello. Would you like some yogurt? No, I don't know who Alarak is. So
There's a
Do you
there's a
have
big
free-
bug on your head.
Do we have free samples?
we don't do free samples here, but I tell you what, you stick around for a little bit, and maybe we can work on a really good price.
That
There's a
fit-
bug.
that
There's a
feels
bug between your
uncomfortable.
horns.
Yeah, it was pretty uncomfortable. Also, don't lean on the stall.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I won't.
The stall's just a giant illusion. I'm not paying
Oh.
for an actual stall. I'm actually just holding the yogurt.
Do you actually?
Like the-
Do you actually have yogurt?
I actually do have yogurt, yes. Would you like to buy some yogurt?
Is it? actually yogurt or is it dragon poo?
Oh no, it's definitely yogurt, and it's delicious. It's the best yogurt you'll
Could
ever
it be
taste.
dragon poo?
From?
What from? Yogurt. I bought yogurt when I was like a smaller town, and I kept it cold with spells, and then I mixed it with warm milk that I boiled, and that's how you make more yogurt.
That's exactly how you make more yogurt.
I
I'm
know.
going to insight check him. 14.
I'm telling the truth. That's actually how you make yogurt. I looked it up.
Nah,
just
I
for
don't
this.
believe you. That's not how.
Literally.
No way. How could you keep it cold that long with my
Prestidigitation.
spells? No way. My spells never last that long.
But
How
you-
is that
but-
possible? He's
but-
lying.
But you don't need to keep yogurt cold in order to create more yogurt. You actually have to keep it at room temperature.
And I mean, dragon poo? No way. That's not a dragon. That's a big bug.
But I have to say, if you put dragon poo into it, it would kill the cultures. So I'm inclined to believe this Azrael person. I mean, I don't know how trustworthy he is as a person, but his yogurt making physics seems to be on par.
Oh, very on par. And on that, can you do me an insight check? Oh no!
30.
You're charmed. Unfortunate. So you want to buy some yogurt?
More than I've ever wanted to buy anything before in my whole life.
Oh yes. Well, it's usually 1 silver, but for a close friend, it's 2.
What?
As she's reaching
That's the
forward,
best deal
I
ever.
give her a
Best
shake.
deal ever.
I'm like, Riki, you're about to eat dragon poo. What are you doing? Snap out of it. And
Well,
I give her
try
a- I give her a
everything
shake.
once. Everything once.
I'll give you a sample of the yogurt and ask you
No,
why
no,
you're
no.
in
I
town.
insist to pay. I will pay you
insist to pay.
2. I will pay you 5 silver.
Oh no, friend. 2 silver is more than enough.
I've given him 5 silver.
Oh god.
I turn away. I'm not
I'll,
watching.
I'll happily take the 5 silver. Hand you over a little thing of yogurt and a mess kit, and then I'll ask you why you're in town, friend.
To buy excellent yogurt.
Understandable.
You haven't actually used the spell as such, have you?
No.
Okay. You're just being very persuasive.
Very persuasive, very charming.
I tried the yogurt. Is it any good?
It's delicious. It's super cold, and I've made it taste better with prestidigitation as well.
Oh,
It is
that's good.
actually the best yogurt you've ever tasted.
I offer some to Wabani. Here, Wabani, it would be good for your
No.
microbiome. You need some cheering up.
No.
Wouldn't it be the only yogurt they've ever eaten?
Most likely, yes.
No, I don't
Yeah.
know. I think the gnomes can be quite tricky with all kinds of things. I can imagine gnomish yogurt would be probably wouldn't taste as nice as this, but it would exist.
I'm fulfilled by Donnaru's blessings and protein.
Protein.
She needs some help with your microbiome, Wabani. You're looking very
No.
tense. You're looking very tense these days. Stress. You might need some balancing
I
for
know
the
what
gut
microbiome
bacteria.
means, and my poops are fine.
But could they be better?
No. And I won't eat poop either.
I would.
Not even once.
I offer some to Bindi.
This is the most delicious yogurt she has ever tasted.
It's probably the only yogurt she's ever tasted.
Probably, she's an animal.
But if it goes badly in her digestion, we all have prestidigitation, so it's fine.
I was quite amazed earlier by Wabani's insights. I'm kind of scared to battle Wabani.
Look,
But I've
Here we
decided I
go.
want you to eat my yogurt. Let's battle.
no. Listen here, Azrael.
Oh.
This here is my friend Steve.
Mhm.
And the female, her name is, and I kind of say that really slowly, waiting for ... for Riki to fill it in.
Riki.
This is Riki. And the discontent in the back of the wagon, his name is Charlie Brown? No, that's not it. What was it again? ...
I possibly wouldn't know.
Malafar?
No, I know, yes, it's Malafar. I mean, roleplay here. Malafar. What the hell is your name?
I know, but no, I'm going to say Riki would.
Charlie
would
Brown.
remember.
It's Charlie Brown.
My
Charlie
bad, I
Brown.
was holding down control when I was meant to be holding down function.
Oh, he's desperately trying to answer you, but no one's listening. Oh dear.
Oh well.
And my name is Winter.
Well, hello,
He's-
Winter and Jace. I mean, Stephen.
There's a very awful joke, but no one's going to make it.
Make a deception check, please, Wapani.
Deception check?
You're
You're
lying about
You're
both.
trying to lie.
You're lying about Jace's name and your name.
Mm.
So? It's a big old 12.
Do I have to insight to try and beat it?
Yeah, do an insight.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
boy.
You know something's up. The way he looks at you, there's a bit of an eye twitch as he's saying some of these things, but you don't know exactly what he's trying to hide there. But he's not being completely forthcoming.
All right, I'll be like, hello,
you
Malifar.
see my shoulders kind of relax a bit when I say the name Winter.
Yeah. All right, I'll say hello, Malafariki. Squint a little bit and be like, hello, Winter and Steve. Fantastic to meet you.
Steve the Pirate.
Steve the Pirate, interesting. He's an actual pirate?
Have you heard about him?
No, I haven't heard of many pirates. I'm from a small village.
There's books. I've read about him in books. It's very exciting to meet him in person.
I love books.
He's not
Yes.
Steve the pirate. Come on. That's someone else. This is
In
just
my
Steve.
head, he is. It makes him easier to travel with. Stop it.
So
Ricky,
you said
piracy
you know...
is a hanging offence. I do wish you'd stop introducing me as a pirate.
No. Apologies. Apologies, Steve.
Now,
And I kind of give you a nudge, Jace. Your accent. They might know your accent.
my accent is local to this area. It won't stand out.
Oh, it's fine. I'm from a small town. I wouldn't know an accent anyway.
I suspect Wabani's wanting Steve to put on a piratey accent.
I think so. Well, Steve the Pirate, let's hear your best R.
Arr.
So what is everyone in town for? What are we doing, friends?
I hear there is a yogurt festival. Have I been misinformed?
I'm definitely misinformed. It's just myself selling the yogurt behind this this fake yogurt stand.
Oh,
I just told the joke.
Then we found the yogurt festival. Well done, people. Well done.
Jace places a gold coin on the non-existent counter, and
That briefly falls through and lands on the ground.
and says, "Perhaps you would be interested in selling some information to wash down that yogurt."
Well, I personally don't eat the yogurt because that'd be sampling my own product. But happy to give information for a gold coin, and the dragon will fly down and pick it up and bring it back to me.
Does it swallow it? Is that where you keep your change?
I don't know if it swallows it, if I poof it away, if the coin drops out. I personally don't know how that works, so I'm not going to risk it. But what information are you looking for, friend? I know a few things about this town. I haven't been here too long, but I'm, on the lookout for information myself.
We've just arrived. Interested to know the lay of the land. You seem like the sort of chap who would have his ear to the ground. Who are the movers and shakers? What's going on? What's the word on the street?
The main thing is there's an arena fight here. That's what originally brought me, because I was thinking maybe I can make a name for myself, make a little bit of money, get my name out there especially. I like the idea of being known right now.
Jace gives a look of mock surprise and says, "Arena fights? Aren't they illegal?"
Well, I don't know how personally they're set up, but I think it's more... How are they set up? Sec me DM! I've dug a hole!
No, that's okay. The laws of the Tor Sovereign are a little bit weak here because it is so close to the edge of the kingdom. So they usually just ignore the arena fight because it does seem to bring quite a bit of money into the town itself. So and there is a little bit of prestige. If it was closer to the capitals, then there would be certainly things cracking down on that.
And what's the gentleman's name that runs it again? My
Fantier
apologies.
Brown. You know that his name is Fantier Brown.
Yeah, I that's all I know. So I know Fantier Brown runs it. He comes from the Verdant Commonwealth, I think. I don't know that much, hopefully. But I was here to make a name, then realized I'm probably as weighty with health as wet paper. So I decided to sell yogurt instead.
Wise decision, I think.
You're very wise.
Could you get us into these fights?
I mean,
So
I could
just
sign
a
up
little bit.
with you.
So just a little bit to let you know, you actually obviously wanted to get into these fights, but you.
I meant as a spectator.
Oh, as a spectator. Okay. Well, actually, can I move you over to the private channel for a second?
Of course you can.
Yep.
Digging a hole, digging a hole.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. So you definitely want to get in and fight here, but you spent quite a bit of, or most of your money on the entry fee, but then you realise that you actually need a group of people to get in. It can't be just a solo thing. So you're kind of been stuck.
All right, so I'll invite them along with me and say I can get us in, but not as spectators. They reserve that right. Just lie a little bit.
Yeah.
Try and get them to come with me.
If that's what you want to do, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll befriend Jason, try and get him to come along since he's the stick. If I can get the stick to move, I can win.
Let's see. We'll see how you go.
Yeah.
So I can maybe chat.
Hello.
Oh, you guys are back.
We're back.
All right, so I have actually bought a way into the fight myself, but I need a group of friends to do it with. Apparently you can't do it alone.
I will enter the fight with you if you walk through the crowd yelling in that accent, "Yogurt, get your yogurt."
I mean, the dragon dings the bell, and the sign kinda does the rest.
No, you have to yell, "Yogurt, get your yogurt."
How about as my trusted friend, you yell that for me instead?
No.
But you charmed. And as a close friend of many years, surely you'd want to do that for me, right?
No. How about we just enter the fight instead? That sounds
that
simpler.
sounds fun. I could definitely use the help if you all wouldn't mind.
So
What?
you have been to these fights then, so you kind of know what it looks like, the who's who that shows up there.
I spent a majority of my money getting into the fight, then realized I can't do it by myself. So I've been stuck selling yogurt to make money to leave.
That's a contradiction because yogurt takes forward planning. But what you've just done shows a lot of impulsivity, so I'm profoundly confused.
I was very lucky to charm people into helping me make my yogurt business. And as you see, I don't have a real stall, and I'll change the Yogurts R Us name to Yogurts R Me.
Just make sure you hold back about 200 grams.
About 200.
Because you need that as a base to keep the culture alive.
Things I will remember. Thank you very much.
It's very important to retain one pot of yogurt cooled under prestigitation in your backpack, just for future reference.
For future reference.
This is the most boring footnote in the whole history of D&D. Yogurt making 101 from Riki.
So yes, if we could enter in the gentleman that runs them is very important. So I think if we get in, then we could go see him, organize whatever we need to.
You've seen him at these events?
Yes, he runs the whole thing.
Yeah, okay, but I mean, if you've seen him there, like, where does he sit? Like, does he sit with a lot of people, or does he sit up high? Is he down at the bottom at the arena level, or?
So,
I'm just curious, just to understand what
he
the
kind
arena
of roams
looks
around
like,
a little bit. Roams around.
you know, Azariel, that he has his own private booth at the top of the arena that has a bird's eye view of the actual fights that occur. You also know that if you gain enough renown with the actual combats that you face, then he has been known to talk with the combatants after the fight personally to congratulate them and discuss other things. So you know both of those things.
Yes, just as my voice changed for a second there and I explained all of that to you guys. We could use that to get renown to speak to him if you have some business with that gentleman. I mean,
so you were inside and you kind of noticed that. I mean, like his booth, like how high up is it? Is it?
Decently
Is it-
high up. It's got guards usually, so you'd have to actually get him to come to you.
Oh.
So you also know, Azrael, that there are 3 individuals that always seem to be around him: a burly orc, a slender fire genasi, and a diminutive, charismatic halfling.
Yes, very charismatic halfling. But yes, so
And,
it has 3 bodyguards.
Right. Still sounds like it could be a very interesting venture. Perhaps, though, we should go along as spectators, size things up before we get in too deep.
well, I mean, I'm curious. I mean, famous individual like this. You said you've seen him inside the arena. Have you seen him around the town at all? Like, does he hang out somewhere?
Personally, I haven't seen him around the town at all. I mean, I spend most of my time selling yogurt because
Oh,
I'm
yes.
poor.
I will make note that he spends, as I know, most of his times at the arena or at his own abode.
Someone as important as him probably has lackeys to go get his things.
Well,
And on top of-
how often do these arena events happen?
As often as the DM decides them.
There's a fight usually every day.
Every day, apparently.
Well, Steve, this means, I mean, we could potentially meet this fellow to say hello and shake his hand. Someone important like that might be interested in investing in our ventures and plans. Maybe we should potentially go and see what we can learn from both of those locations.
Well, if it's daily, like we've realized, we could actually just go watch like you'd want and then enter the next day. I mean, I've paid entry fees, so it wouldn't cost me anything more, and you guys anything at all.
Sounds like a wonderful suggestion.
Doesn't it,
Is the-
Steve?
Against others, or is it against... What is the fights like?
So you've watched one fight, Azrael, and it seems to be a mixture against creatures that they've caught or pitted against other groups of people.
Yes, so it's
You mean-
PvP or PvE.
It's actually people fighting each other. It's not like a dance battle or something.
No, it's people fighting each other.
Dance,
or people
dance,
fighting
revolution, my
animals.
dudes.
I would
Uh-huh.
love to see Wabani do a dance off.
I can't dance. I wish I could.
You could. We can all dance if we just find music that we love, Wabani.
But by the power of Donaru, you can.
I read
But-
that in a very wise book once called Giraffes Can't Dance.
Mm.
Giraffes can dance, Wabani, they can.
Mm.
Then there's some wise. You've been around on this planet a lot longer than me. I take your word. Still, I think I'd be mightily shy to dance in front of people.
Well, you'll be relieved to know it's actual fighting, so no dancing.
I mean, I mean, is most of the people in the town humans?
It's a mixture of humans, some dragonborn, and there's the occasional half-elf. Seems to be certainly a lot more prominent this close to the border, but still not that many.
Hey, so I have a bit of a think for a moment, and I think, so this is a hypothetical fighting situation. I need to know, is it a fight to the death?
Usually.
Malafar, you don't happen to have a sword that drinks people's souls, do you?
I don't have a sword that drinks people's souls. No. Why?
Oh, what do you have that drinks people's souls?
Did I specify that it drank souls?
Oh, so you have an object that drinks things. I have one of those too. It's called it's called a flask.
Why do I even bother?
Because you're awesome and cool. So, it's good to know that you don't have a terrifying soul reaver if we're about to pit. The reason I asked is because if we're about to go and pit into battle against peoples who are maybe friendly, if we're not on the battlefield, it's probably considered rude to consume their souls, that's all.
Well, and really, I'm not keen on dancing in front of people because, like, I'm kind of ostracized by other humans, so that's not going to go over very well.
It's okay, Wabani. I think we've moved past that.
Oh, we're not going to dance. Oh, good. I'm glad.
Do you want to? We
no,
can do some lessons
or
later.
singing? No, I don't want to sing either. Maybe Steve can sing really well.
I think Azrael looks like he might be able to sing too. They could
Can
do
you
a
sing,
duet.
Azrael?
Oh, I don't sing whatsoever. But I tell you what Barney is. I just heard her call that, so I guess it's not winter at all. It's Wabani.
No, it's his nickname.
What?
It's his nickname.
No. God damn it, Riki.
But you can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind.
Yes, but, if they don't dance, then they're no friends of mine.
I think that's an epic poem I've heard before. Maybe a
I'm concerned about the safety of this dance.
I don't suppose you could put a beat to that, could you, Steve? That seemed an interesting turn of phrase that they spun there. That was most interesting. Can you put a beat behind it?
They could, but just be careful because you may end up rickrolled. That's something else I've read.
It does say to watch out what you do with that. You could get rickrolled.
This is the pitfalls of dance fighting, I'm afraid. One must be aware of all of these traps.
Right. So no dance off, no sing off. So
Poetry
it's just
slam.
a little bit of punching.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
And what Malafar said is it's to the death.
Usually.
I'm not really keen on that. I don't like killing other people's.
Well, we could try to knock them out rather than kill them.
Is it
We don't have
people's?
to kill them. It's
That's
not
true.
always people.
That's
Is it
true. I mean,
is
we
it
could knock
beasts?
them unconscious.
I mean, if it's
a
beasts,
mix.
no big deal. We can do that. But if it's people's, yeah, I
But-
got a problem there.
It's a
Yeah.
coin flip on whether it's beast or man. Or
Why do
kind
we-
of man.
But do we have to kill them dead, or we just knock them unconscious?
It is your choice, usually, is what I've heard.
So there we go. Don't have to kill anyone.
What happens if that dude that you mentioned, the famous one? What happens if he looks down at you and he like puts his thumb down? Like, what do you need to do then?
You could put your middle finger up. I heard that works.
Oh my God,
That
Riki,
sounds-
he knows about the Northern Wastes and our cultural gestures.
That's amazing.
Hmm.
Do you know the Northern Wastes?
I'm trying to get very learned, to be honest.
I see.
And if anyone has any learned information to share, I would appreciate that.
By the way, I'm drinking all of this in and drawing it all in sketch form in the back of my book.
Well, I'm thinking we should probably just scope things out.
Yeah, so would you like to join me? Like, we can scope it out, obviously, and then do whatever later.
Not really. Don't really know who the hell you are, but
Well, I'm Asriel.
I'm tired as hell.
He's the guy with the yogurt.
I'm the yogurt man, Asriel. I have a sort of dragon. It's not a dragon. Looks like a dragon.
It's a fake dragon yogurt man.
Small
What
fake
more
blue
could you
dragon.
ask?
Yeah, it's got
And
a
you
bell on its
said-
tail.
You don't know Alarak?
I don't know Alarak.
I mean,
I wish
what
you
about?
did.
Is that a town?
You look different than him. I mean, you've got some. He had a tail, but you're a lot slimmer than him. I mean, he had a bit of orc in him.
Bit
well,
of
maybe-
orc.
Well, he
It's
was kind
not-
of like
it's not-
50-50, I think.
And it wasn't a euphemism. He actually was part orc.
Oh, I've
Yeah.
been in a bit of orc sometimes. I mean, whatever you're into, really.
Yeah, he didn't eat
Wait.
orc.
You were in. How could you be in an orc?
There's
And then I
There's-
whip out the whip and manacles. And like this.
Oh boy.
I'm not. I don't follow you at all.
I'll
What the
draw
hell
some
does he mean?
I'll draw some diagrams later, Wabani, but I suggest you get a rest first.
Yeah,
Right,
your friend
okay.
can show you.
So you don't know of these peoples, huh? You've never seen them before?
No, I come from a small little town, little
Is
fishing
it in
village.
Lord and Lee?
No, it's in Pontevino, where we are. I'm just moving around slowly. Heard this was a place to kind of get a new start.
Gotcha. You've never left Pontevino?
No. The only plague things I know about outside of the world is what I've read, and what I've read isn't much.
But I've heard things about orcs and whips and manacles, so I would suggest perhaps he needs to travel a little further afield.
Well, what do your teeth look like? Let me see your teeth.
No, they look pretty normal. Just have really, like, kind of longer canines. That's it. Normal teeth, though. Besides that,
He kind of looks he looks healthier than Malafar does. Can you do a push-up?
Can you do a push-up?
Oh gosh.
That's a new benchmark for entry into the group.
one push-up.
Push-ups.
Can you do it with just your fingertips?
Well,
I
Barney.
use. Oh, how does Mage Hand work? Can I do a push-up using Mage Hand
No,
to
it
hold
can't
myself? Damn
no.
it!
It can't handle that amount of weight unless you're less than 5 pounds.
Curse my hefty tiefling.
But I mean, you can make an acrobatics check or a athletics check to show off your prowess.
I'm assuming your acrobatics is good.
It's all right.
So you go about and do a nice set of moves that were a little bit better than what Wabandi did before, but you weren't aware of that.
No, they weren't. I do not believe those words in my head. Hey, Riki Jace, I've got an idea. What if, these two people, I mean, they both seem to be looking for or missing something that we seem to have, solution architect-wise. Maybe what we could do is they can sleep in the same room together and we can see how they do. I mean, like, do they get along? Are they really, people that are going to really mess up our game? What do you think?
Wouldn't you be better at keeping an eye on them generally?
I
As
just
in
figured
when they're not actually unconscious?
Shut up, Riki.
What are you thinking?
I don't know where I was going with that. It seemed like a positive direction. I think I'm just really tired and I haven't prayed in a while. I think I need to just call it a day. Yeah, that's it. I'm tired.
Yeah, well, Barney, I think you should go off and have a nice rest.
What is the time, by the way?
It's coming up to about 1 to 2 o'clock at the moment.
In the afternoon or the morning?
Afternoon. I don't think he'd be selling yogurt at 2 in the morning.
It depends if he runs a kebab stand as well as a yogurt shop. Could be quite lucrative.
He makes kebabs? You said he makes kebabs? I like kebabs.
Especially, dragon roasted kebabs would be the best.
Wait a minute.
What?
Now I actually want a dragon roasted kebab.
Although it looks like a dragon, it can't actually breathe any fire, sadly.
So where are you staying, Azrael?
Can it rotate a meat stand? Okay, where is Azrael standing? Let's move on.
Where am I staying?
Where are you staying at?
At a moderately priced inn?
You'd probably be staying at one of the lower level inns, but you made a bit of money today, so you could probably get into a moderately priced inn.
Well, what do you guys think? I'm tired. I know that I need to pray, but at the same time, night is shit. That's a ways off. Should we? I don't know. See if we can observe where this fellow calls home.
I think that's a good idea. Subtly but I think we should check it out.
I would suggest, since you are ever so tired, we spectate the arena fights, which requires no real effort from you, and so we can see it that way, because how else are we meant to find where this adversary is staying?
Well,
I thought you knew that. Knew where he was staying.
Wait, do I?
Yes, you would know where he's staying. He stays in a large estate, probably about 5 minutes walk from the arena.
Well, shit. Well, there we go.
I have a brilliant thing. How about if he's at the arena and you know where he lives, Malafar? Well, let's not go inside. Last thing I need to do is get in a fight right now. I mean, maybe if you want to get in a fight, fine, but I don't know where your loyalties lie, so that seems stupid. So, no, how about we just go check out his place while he's not there and get a lay of the land?
We could do that. As long as we get it done, both spectating the arena fight as you guys want and understanding where he lives. That is fine by me.
I can kind of do whatever.
Listen, yogurt man.
That's yogurt boy to you.
You can come. That's fine. You can come. I don't take offense to that. It doesn't hurt my feelings.
And I'll click my fingers and the stand will go away, and I'll just put the yogurt in my backpack.
Remember, 200 grams.
200 grams. It's more than 200 grams. It's a jug. I'll try and keep it cold.
Okay. Excellent. You've got to set up a little bit of insulation in your backpack where you can keep the yogurt in a decent temperature and it doesn't warm up too quickly.
Excellent.
From trial and error, you've realised that a mixture of air and sort of a little wooden box with straw and stuff like that to give you some sort of decent air insulation is the way to go.
From many ruined backpacks.
Yes, it's certainly watertight.
It was certainly more successful than those times that you tried to sell soft cheeses.
Soft cheeses? Who tried to sell soft cheeses?
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Look, here's the plan. We need a place to go. We need to go to a tavern to leave our horses. I can't drag my cart around and stay unobtrusive. So let's go find a place, leave our horses, and then let's go scope out. Check things out.
So the hoof and rake, as I mentioned before, Jace, is just nearby, or you can look for a different place if you want.
That sounds like it could be as good as any. That was a sort of moderately priced in. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, let's pull in here, get a room, and then we can do some exploring.
Okay, remember, Steve, when we go through that door, I'm not your wingman, and if there's pretty ladies there, keep it under control.
Winter, you seem to have mistaken me for a chap called Jace.
Right. I don't know what I'm talking about then. Yeah. All right. Let's go and take these animals to the stable.
I shall hire my own room independent from everyone else, and I shall pretend to know none of you, and shall meet upon you in the meeting room as if it were a coincidence.
Why would you do that, Riki?
Why shouldn't I do that, really?
I mean, it sounds like you've got a plan.
A part of a plan is sort of a plan.
And you don't want to share it with us? I thought you were a dodgy sister.
I am a dodgy sister. I just thought it would be fun to pretend that I didn't know any of you.
That does sound like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Role play. Okay, sure. I mean, I can understand that, I think.
We're a fairly distinctive looking group if someone were looking out for us.
Yeah. And I mean, they might mistake, you are a gnome and they might think you're from, well, never mind. It's all right.
Are you being racist again, Wabani?
I'm not racist. I mean, I don't discriminate.
No, it's true. You don't.
Do you remember that time there was that asshole who no, that was sorry, that wasn't my memory. I don't know where that came from. I think Donneru was whispering something in my head. For a second there, I thought I was an Earth Ganassi.
Sometimes we do get these whispers of past lives in our ears.
Yeah, it was weird.
They can contribute to your current wisdom. You should pray and give thanks and then move on.
Yeah. It was a strange thing about talking animals or something. It was weird.
and trees that were edible.
Yeah. very
But right
strange.
now we have yogurt dragons, so that's all very normal. Let's keep moving on.
Yoga dragons
Alright.
are the best dragons.
They
not-
are. They are
I do not
especially-
know this gnome. She's not with us.
No.
Never met her before.
In fact, you know me so little that I walk in the door substantially after you, or have my own room.
So, yeah, just take the horse to the stables and park the wagon at the stable and figure out what we got to pay.
Okay, so the cost of a room is 5 silver. That comes with food for the night and the morning.
Okay.
If you're happy with that. I mean,
Okay.
we can role play the interaction with the barkeep if you want, or we can just move on to the next thing.
I have
Happy to move
paid.
on.
I move on. I've paid 5 silver.
I'll have taken my own room as well, so I'll lose 5 silver from my sheet as well.
Could
So-
could I possibly bargain them down to 2? Ooh.
You can make a persuasion check to see if you can get a discount.
Ooh, excellent. I'm good at this.
Oh wow!
Oh, wow.
Oh boy.
Do I get a discount?
You don't get down to 2, but he begrudgingly gives you 3 silver for the night. But tells you that you need to offer him some of that yogurt you were mentioning before.
Happily. Happily offer the yogurt. Give him a wink when I hand him some.
Okay, excellent. So you guys having a long rest?
Yes. I think so.
No.
Oh no.
Because it's only 1:00 in the afternoon, so we are just basically it was just to acquire a place to stable a horse and make sure that we had a room, and then we were going to go scope out his house, assuming that it was empty.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sorry, just getting the timeline straight. Have we had a long rest since we were fighting the rope devil?
No.
So we're despite the character sheets, we are actually injured and tapped out.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have I had to reuse all my spell slots. I had used a couple of my Wrath of the Storms. My Tunnel Divinity was gone. I got rid of all that.
But
Yeah,
maybe we should have a long rest before we go out any further. It's been a big day.
But if we sleep now, I mean, I am tired. But if we sleep now, then what the hell am I going to do? It's going to be midnight, and I won't be
go
able
to
to
a
sleep.
fight.
Snoop.
Looking at the arena is pretty safe, like sitting in the crowd. Nothing ever happens to the crowd.
What time does the fight happen at?
Whenever we decide to go there.
They're usually late at night. I mean, Malafar, what do you know about this, or Azrael?
What do I know about this?
You wouldn't actually know when the fight is on. Azrael would have a better idea. They normally are either in the afternoon or early night, depending on what they do, what kind of effect or setup they want to go for.
All right, so probably an hour from now, or could be 3. So we could get something to eat. We could go check, then get something to eat. We could do whatever, to be honest. We could look at his house if the arena's not going, then go to the arena.
Yeah, I wasn't planning, to go inside anything. As I sit at a table in the common room. I was just thinking about just take a look-see from afar, from a distance.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. Like, no combat's going to be involved. We're not going to be fighting people in the streets or joining in the arena, surely.
Walk around the house, kind of see what it looks like, see, maybe try to draw a map of what it looks like.
We could probably look at it from across the street, probably not walk around it, because you'd have to go in through, I assume, his gates. Is that right, Adwa?
Walk around the property and.
Like, it'd have gates and stuff, wouldn't it, Adwa?
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
would have high. It's got high walls. I don't think you've been there yet, but you would assume it has high walls and guards and such like that.
Yeah, if he has constant personnel, there's no way you're going to be able to really walk around or really see the house without sneaking up and trying to get a peek through the gate even.
We do have a very small pseudo dragon, and a couple of and a small rodent who might be able to sneak in and have a stick big.
Ooh, we do. Can my
Riki,
pseudo dragon carry the rodent?
Can you draw maps, Riki?
I can draw.
That's actually a brilliant idea. If you could draw a map so we have an idea of where everything's at, that's... I don't suppose you can make Cinderella invisible, can you?
No, but give me some time. I can make her quite a bit smaller.
Ooh. How much time?
If you're wanting to cast Find Familiar again, it would take you an hour or an hour and 10 minutes if you're using the ritual form of it. And then you can transform it into a spider if you want. That's much smaller.
I would say an hour and 10 minutes. Then you can have a little spider who would just be able to very slowly explore the mansion.
Can you guys do that and draw it out, and then maybe we can watch Brown and his three companions and kind of, in the crowds, kind of size them up from within the crowds type thing as they walk by?
Well, how heavy is Cinderella?
As a spider, not very.
Oh, what is she now?
She is currently much larger than a spider. Weasel. She's a weasel.
5 pounds? Wonderful. What kind of pseudo drag carry? Actually, no, it's the size of a cat. Probably can't even really carry it.
Couldn't carry much.
Couldn't carry much.
If you're going to transform it into a spider, the spider can climb the wall anyway. It doesn't need to be flown in.
Mm-hmm.
I still want to see a pseudo dragon try and carry a weasel.
We could try that right here on the table. The dragon tries to pick up the weasel.
We could get people to place bets. We might get to make some money.
Except then we would lose the element of surprise as Steve. So
to top it all off, you have a pseudo dragon trying to carry a weasel that, and there's a squirrel on top of the pseudo dragon, sort of as a mount.
But that's what you could do with the spider if you transformed it. It could ride the pseudo dragon into perceptive battle, if you will.
I won't will.
I won't will.
Okay, so you want to scout out the house first, or are you going to go to the stadium?
Well, I think, let's just kind of sit in the crowds and make sure that we see him and his people walk by. Then let's go scope out his house.
I can also request a audience with the man if need be.
Why would you do that?
To get close without actively alerting him to anything. I have a certain position of privilege, I might say.
Ah.
Ooh.
Well,
that might prove useful, Steve. Get invited for dinner at their place kind of thing. You get yourself all decked out, you put on a nice dress. Could work.
Steve has a particularly fancy hairbrush.
Steve, are you going to respond?
Oh, sorry, Steve.
You can't remember your fake name.
I don't have a fancy hairbrush, but it's not really something I like to talk about.
Shh, doesn't like
Well,
to
you
talk
could
about
wear,
the hairbrush. Shh.
maybe wear a really fetching dress that, well, I don't know if it's going to work.
I don't know that dresses look very fetching on Steve.
I mean, if he was a little bit more full-figured, maybe.
Isn't that what prestidigitation's for?
I've never seen it do that. Is that even possible?
We could fluff up his silver chest hair.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, that doesn't. I mean, for me, it's. Maybe that's appealing for you, but that's certainly not appealing for me.
It's not. Personally, I don't think it's particularly appealing, but yeah. Maybe we can just dress Steve up and put Steve in some finery, and Steve can accompany. But do people know what you look like, Steve?
Well, some people do.
I've always heard that, nobody suspects the butler, so maybe you could be the butler.
Oh, he could be a service person and dye his hair black.
Or I could be one of the bodyguards if we could jump the bodyguard out of sight of the rest of them.
I wave my fingers and cast prestidigitation and make Steve's hair really coarse and black and of particularly, I guess, not very nice texture. There you go, Steve. I've done you a favor. No one will recognize you.
It does work.
Steve looked quite disgusted.
I do the same and add blonde tips because no one's going to look at a douchebag with blonde tips.
Oh, frosted tips.
Frosted
The
tips,
best.
Steve.
Frosted tips, Steve.
He's a pirate with frosted tips.
I don't know if I understand those words, but okay, if you think so. I don't know. Didn't they say that his bodyguards was a dragonborn and a halfling and an orc?
He could be mine.
Oh yeah, and if you dressed up like just average, can you be average, Steve? I mean, you're looking more average with that hair.
He would be the best average ever. Come on, Steve.
Whoa.
Go for the best average ever.
Best average ever or the worst average ever? How does that work?
That's both the same.
Son iguales, sí, parece. Okay, yeah. Let's do that.
Let's do that.
We'll put him in a butler's uniform and put creases in his butler's uniform.
So the idea is Malafar is going to go and have a little chit-chat with this fella. Maybe something can come from that might be useful. It's a tool, but in the meantime, the rest of us will take that opportunity to scout out the house. Does that sound like what we're doing?
So are we splitting the party?
Just don't die, Malafar, okay?
I'll try not to. Will Jace be accompanying me, or will he be off with you?
I think for the moment, if you can arrange, so if you can, and have a conversation and use your well-to-do to do well grifting ability, or whatever it is that you can do to get us to have dinner at his place, so then at least we'll know what his place looks like, and we can potentially set something up. So in a couple days, then we have dinner at his place, and who knows? What do you think?
If it is able to be, then I am not against it. It gets me and us closer to what we want.
Otherwise, what's the other alternative? We sleep and go fight in the pits?
And that would get us favor enough to probably have dinner with him or meet him in person, have a chat with him straight after there if we do well.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Which you'll look fantastically strong, let's be honest.
Pit fighting might equal profit.
It always does.
Sorry, we make money from doing this?
Of course we do. You have to pay to enter, but if you win, then you get quite a sum. And
I
also,
don't know if I could hurt another person, though. I mean, it's tough to hurt people.
Is it, though?
Kinda. I mean, it makes me feel bad in my stomach. Twists me up inside.
You're not killing them unless you choose to. There's no permanent harm, necessarily.
Well, that's actually a good point. I think I could do that.
You look
I
like a
didn't have to
well-trained
kill them.
being. Surely you don't kill them.
Oh, we come now winter. Surely it's important that you're present to make sure that people aren't accidentally killed.
I mean, if it was like a crocodile or something, I could kill it no problem, but yeah.
What about a dragonborn? That's kind of like a crocodile.
Yeah, I was going to say, what about like a crocodile person?
There's no such thing. What books do you read, Riki? That's just fantasy.
Is it really? I mean, today you've met a yogurt dragon. What other wonders?
It's not a yogurt dragon. It's not even a dragon. It's a big bug, and he makes the yogurt and it eats it. How is it a yogurt? Oh my lord!
I'll put the jug of
sorry.
yogurt on the table, click
my
the dragon
God.
into the yogurt,
But
so it's got its head out.
but should a crocodile man stand in front of you in the arena, will you belittle it as equally?
There's no such thing. It'll never happen.
You're
Just like
willing
all
it
this
to
talk.
be.
I mean, remember, even the talk about the dragon, it wasn't the real dragon. It was just like a robot dragon.
Wait a minute, it's a real dragon. You're not a real dragon. You're hurting Druck's feelings.
I just, and there was that time when we were in the realm of fairy, and he just kept running around going, "I don't believe in fairies." Or did I dream that? I'm not sure.
You must have, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, possibly, yes.
Is it like Dodgeball?
I think it might be. I might have read it alongside Dodgeball.
All right, so that's the plan. So we're going to go and use your earnings to go into the arena. Is that something you will join us with, Malafar?
If it means that we get closer, then yes. I have said this many times, as long as it is getting us and me closer to your and my goals, then it will be done.
What are your goals, Malafar?
I told you before as well.
Who is Bella?
I've yet to say.
Jace? Or Steve?
Yeah, Jace, Steve. Who is Bella?
You be quiet, yogurt man. You're not.
It's yogurt
we're
boy.
Still boy. You might have a quite the tongue and convince Riki to go and eat your yogurt, but I never will.
I definitely have
Jace.
quite the tongue.
That sounds like the most awful euphemism ever.
I'm getting flashbacks to Ben and Holly. It's what is it, Elf Boy? It's Elf Man.
Jace is just giving Wabani a look of cold fury at the moment.
I put in a couple of votes. Which way you guys want to go? I lean more towards the breaking into the house. That's funny. It's tied.
Who's the tiebreaker?
How's it we have a tie?
Okay, so we are arena fighting. Okay.
Woo! Prestige!
Profit.
I
all
get
right.
to vote as well.
Although
But
we
I
need to
won't.
rest. We
How
do
you
need
don't
to
get
rest.
to vote, DM.
We do need to rest.
Well, no,
We
we're
can
going to go,
scout out the arena first,
yeah.
and then
and then we sleep, and then tomorrow, we have at her.
And we could even ask around about what the competition might be tomorrow. People may know.
Well, actually, maybe if the fight isn't until later this evening, if it's not like till 9 p.m. or something, we could very well have a sleep. Maybe the fight tonight is easier than the one tomorrow.
As everyone is discussing this, Jace, you turn your head for a second and you catch the sight of a womanly form walking off out of the marketplace down the road. It takes you a little bit to think about it, but then you realise it looks so much like the back of Bella.
Right.
So what do you do?
Jace, without even thinking about it, he sort of rushes out of the room and sort of tries to get a look at her face.
Is anyone following?
I'll get the pseudo dragon to follow.
Yeah, no, I'm not following.
Malafar
Okay.
will stay in
Did
the
I
seat.
did I notice that he seems to be chasing a woman?
You just make a perception check.
Alrighty. That is a 9.
No, all you see is Jace, sort of without saying a word, leaving your discussion and racing out of the tavern towards something you don't know. Okay, Jace, as you once you get outside, you don't see her, but there's quite a few people in the marketplace. And then you catch sight of what might look like her turning a corner down an alleyway a little bit further on outside of the marketplace.
Okay, I follow.
Okay.
Trap.
I also follow with the pseudo dragon, just watching, so I can't see or hear what anyone's saying.
When you get to that alleyway, you look on, and it took you a little while to get there. She's quite far ahead, and you can see that there's another main road beyond this alleyway, and there's a few people traversing back and forth there. You don't see any sign of her.
Okay, Jason sort of comes to his senses. So he knows Bella's dead. He slowly makes his way back towards the tavern.
I'll just get the dragon to land on his shoulder. See if he tries to attack it.
No. Jason gives it a bit of a scritch.
It's a dragon. Doesn't mind.
So Jace comes back in with what's the name of the pseudo dragon?
A druck.
A druck. With
Just
a druck.
druck. D-R-U-K.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Druck on his shoulders. Do you guys say anything?
Jace has a bit of a forlorn look on his face as he sits back down.
Okay.
What's wrong with you, Jace? Jesus, looks like you just saw a ghost.
I feel like maybe I did.
That's just an expression from where I come from. What? Huh? You seeing a real ghost? I mean, that's fantasy. That's like what Riki was talking about with Crocodile Man.
Well,
Hey, that could
there
be
you
a thing.
Hmm? To me, it looked like you got really into exercise for a second there and just decided not to anymore. Kind of like it was New Year's, started doing it again, and then just realized it's not worth the time.
Is that what happened?
Oh yeah, he stopped. Then I let the dragon land, and I just poofed back here.
What's going on, Jace? You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just thought I recognized someone, but it's mind playing tricks.
All right. Not gonna push you. Why don't you, Mr. Azrael, go talk to the bartender over there and find out what time the fight is tonight and who's in the fight, and we'll decide whether or not we're gonna rest and try to make it for tonight or go tomorrow.
All right, I'll go up to the barkeep.
So the barkeep here is a skinny human of probably about 50 years of age. And he's got greying hair, and he looks up and goes, "Oh, hello, Azrael. It's been a little while. Are you staying here tonight?"
Yes. I've already paid again. Do you remember you gave me that special deal?
I did, and that's right. And that yogurt was fantastic. I'd love to get some more. I might even. Would you be interested in offering the yogurt here to the residents in here, the tavern patrons?
Well, I'm about to get into the arena fighting business, I think. So I don't know how long I'll be peddling yogurt for. But a quick question: is there a fight on today? And what type of fights happen today?
Oh well, there is a fight. I think it's on in the afternoon, probably in about 1 or 2 hours' time. I'm not sure. They usually keep it a surprise until the fight happens. What is going to occur? But yes, you could probably get there in time and have a look. Might cost you a little bit of money to get in, though.
Yes. Is there anyone who would know what kind of fight it would be, perhaps, that I could talk to? Maybe get a bit of information of the fights, maybe beforehand. Cheeky peek.
They like to keep them secret. It's part of their lure to get them in and get visitors to watch.
Yeah, fair enough. Thank you very much for your time. What time are the fights tomorrow? Is it afternoon or night?
Tomorrow. I think I remember it was at night.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time.
That's not a problem, Azrael.
And then I'll walk back over and explain that. Yeah. So the fight today is in the afternoon, and the fight tomorrow is at night, which usually is more of a spectacle. So if we watch today, it'll be more entertainment, and tomorrow will be more grand.
Well, I think that sets it then. We're spectating tonight, and tomorrow we'll enter the melee. Melee.
Yeah, there's also like not many sites around here, but we could probably check out during the day the residence if you'd like as well tomorrow, because we'll be all rested up, and then go to the fight because it's at nighttime. We'll have the whole day to ourselves.
Yeah, but checking out his home while he's there is probably, I don't know, is that wise or not?
Are there any shops nearby his home that I might know of, or?
No, the house. Well, you don't really know.
I don't know
the
much,
house,
yeah.
but Malafar does. But you would suspect that there is a pretty expensive area in the town, and you would suspect that's where he is, or where the building is. So it'll be all the important merchants and stuff like that. So there wouldn't be much in the way of shops.
Also, no high-end shops.
Not that you're aware of.
Bah! He lives in a residential district, gated community, if you will.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Anyway, I think this might be a good spot to leave it tonight. You guys can go watch this spectacle tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow, next week. I think we might have a slightly shorter one next week because I'm going to be up early tomorrow, the next day. So I might keep it down to 2 hours and skip the midway break.
Yep.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay.
And yes, I'll see everyone hopefully next Friday. Thank you
Sounds
for
good.
listening. I hope you had a good time. Remember, you can find us on Twitch, YouTube, Podbean, iTunes, and Discord. See the details of the descriptions below. And if you want to vote, come join us on the Filthy Pig Discord, sir.
Catch you next week.